Hello. It's been snowing here all day, and I'm feeling fully embedded and embodied in this season of uncertainty. It's icicle season. Yeah, when, oh, hang on, I have some applications open. Whoops. That brief icicle season where the thaw and the freeze and the thaw and the freeze happen in rapid succession. And the sap begins to flow, but not quite yet. Although there was this super warm day earlier this week where you could feel the sap just starting to be nudged and coaxed. Hmm. Yeah. Uncertainty and discomfort, they're like that, right? Like it feels so full of possibility, but the amount of possibility is almost overwhelming. It's like like I know in my garden, I have some idea of what spring will bring, right? I know what's there, but it still looks like nothing. It still looks like how could that magic possibly happen? And then that first pulsatilla flower will come up, that pasque flower right around Easter time, and it'll from there it'll all just unfurl until November again. I trust that. I trust that. So anyway, I came on here to tell you I'm holding Boundaries and Belonging tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. And if you would like to join Under the Wire, you're more than welcome to do that. There's still space. And I've been thinking a lot uh, about why boundaries are the foundation of everything I teach, because they've been coming up a lot personally in my life lately and with clients, and how potent that no thank you is in the beginning. No thank you. And how risky it can feel if you're used to pleasing people or used to surrounding yourself with people who only want your yes, right? No thank you. Where does that come from? And it's so easy to think of that as like a negation. But under that no thank you is always the movement toward the yes. That movement away is always toward something else. And I think about boundaries like, I think they're so important because they really cover the whole territory of anybody's spiritual journey, right? They're like the Heart Sutra. Form is boundlessness, boundlessness is form, right? So if we can walk fully embodied in our essence down the middle between form and boundlessness, if we can trust that our form is always emerging, our relationships are always emerging, that essential self is always emerging from the causes and conditions that we're embedded in and embodied in. And to trust that we're also, once we get a glimpse of that boundlessness, to trust that we're always being enveloped by that as well. And that that's what that self is emerging from. And the more we abide and trust in that emergence, the easier it is to feel that yes and no, which is more subtle and nuanced than those binary words would suggest. There's a there's a push and pull between the poles that when we're fully embodied, we can feel the most subtle tug of that. And the more we allow ourselves to be moved with that tidal push and pull and not let our ego's preferences get in the way of that natural motion, the freer we are. And the more we're able to live fully and live freely as we actually are fully expressed. But it all starts so simply. No, thank you. No, thank you. This doesn't feel good. No, thank you. I don't want this in my body. No, thank you. No, I don't want your hot Cheetos. No, thank you. That doesn't feel nourishing to me. No, thank you. And then once we can metabolize that look of disapproval, like, I thought you loved hot Cheetos. Last week you ate hot Cheetos and you licked your fingers because you thought they were so delicious. And once we can accept in ourselves that, well, yes, I did eat the hot Cheetos last week, but something else is emerging now. And that doesn't feel good to me in this moment. Like, this moment as it is a no to hot Cheetos. I don't know where this metaphor is coming from, or this example. But can we be in trust with that? That our essence leads from our actual desire, and that desire feels in the body different from preferences. Preferences want to keep the status quo in place. But preferences will also then lead to a certain amount of stagnation by capping that life force to keep things in place. And eventually, it's not going to feel good. And then we're going to see this shaking and feel this shaking and be like, oh, I'm anxious. This must be anxiety. This is bad. This is bad. When actually it's a signal. And if we can be with that sensation instead of calling it anxiety, if we can be with that sensation from a neutral position, from an observer's position, and be like, wow, I'm feeling a lot of energy around this. I'm beginning to feel a little dysregulated around this. Then we can reground and be like, well, what? Can I listen to this signal instead of pathologizing this signal? What are the things that are happening when this signal starts to come up, when I start to feel this surge? And that's the kind of thing that I work on with people when we work on boundaries. Wherever you're at in your process, whether you're just at the phase of saying no thank you, or you're at the point where your boundaries are so completely embodied that you don't have to say a word, but you still don't know where that's leading, and you're still not yet in full trust of how to be with what's emerging, rather than pulling towards some preference in order to anchor you, because you don't yet feel completely at ease in the boundlessness, in the groundlessness. So wherever you're at, I'm prepared to meet you there. I also have a new thing this month that is pocket coaching that I'm doing via WhatsApp. So it starts with a one-on-one session to kind of see where you're at and see if we can work together well and if it's a good match. And if so, then we go on to a 6-month commitment on WhatsApp with audio, voice memos, and text. And at first I was skeptical of this modality. My friend Jemima House told me about it. She started offering it, and it's been kind of great. I kind of love it, and clients kind of love it. So yeah, it's on offer. But yeah, boundaries and belonging tomorrow at 10 a.m. I mean, honestly, I start with boundaries because not having them, not having that trust in yourself, brings maybe more suffering than anything else. If you can meet that disapproval that you're so afraid of that you don't set the boundary, if that disapproval actually shows up, which sometimes it doesn't even, because some people are so happy to see you stand up tall that they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. But that fear of not belonging, because like, of course, that desire to belong is like inherent in all of us. But the crazy thing is, like, once we start setting boundaries and once we start living in our essence, that belonging emerges innately. Like if we end up where we belong when we stop grasping at clinging at things that don't belong with us. Boundaries open our lives to so much freedom and so much ease. But yes, sometimes there is loss. Sometimes there is disapproval. Sometimes there is a shift in our identity away from the good girl or the people pleaser, or some of the old habits will fall away. Some of the old relationships will fall away. And yes, that is painful. The process of becoming can be painful, but it doesn't have to be hard. It can be very, very soft. And like anything, like any bit of suffering is going to endure commensurate with our capacity to meet and metabolize it. There's medicine in everything. Everything is medicine. And that is, again, in how we meet and metabolize it. But everything is medicine. And boundaries are some of the best medicine I know. That's why it's the baseline. So join tomorrow if that's something that you would like to work on. Have a beautiful night.